Welcome back. I have two amazing experts here with me today. Welcome, Kirsten. Welcome, Alexi. Tell us what you do at Hurrdat.
Yeah, so my name is Alexi English, and I am the local search manager at Hurrdat. So I manage the local search team every day and optimize business profiles in search engines and directories, so businesses can be found in the local search results.
Awesome. Yep. And you, Kirsten?
Hi, my name's Kirsten Smith, and I'm the Director of Social Marketing and Brand Communications. I oversee all of our organic social media at Hurrdat, so running social media for our clients and also all of our own brands.
Awesome. Well, today we have a super important topic for small businesses. Enterprise businesses, I guess everybody, so I don't know what I'm saying there. For local, can you break it back down for us, Alexi? I know it's been a while since season 1, since we had you on. Share with me what is local search and what do we do for small businesses? I keep saying small businesses, guys. I'm sorry, everybody.
It's okay.
Local businesses.
Yeah. So local SEO is a type of search engine optimization aimed to increase a business's relevancy in the local search results for relevant searches with local intent.
So like if you're looking for a coffee shop, obviously we have coffee here. If you're looking for a coffee shop and you search in Google coffee shop, Google's going to show you the nearest one. It's like heavily weighted towards proximity.
Most prominent one.
Yep. So it's probably going to show you a Starbucks because they're everywhere.
Yep.
It's also going to show you a coffee shop and not an ice cream shop. So relevant, right?
Yep.
Awesome. And then how and where does that overlap with social? Because obviously we have Kirsten here today too. So
yeah, so I think for local, like a lot of times when you search a local business, you will see social profiles show up in the organic search results and also in the knowledge panel. Sometimes Google will scrape your social profiles and put your social profiles there.
Yeah, so it'll also show like, hey, here's their Facebook page. And then sometimes it pulls over reviews from Facebook. It's like really heavy on Facebook and Foursquare. Yeah,
like I feel like when I search a local business, like Facebook in the organic results is probably like one of the top 3, at least top 5 in the search results.
Oh yeah, definitely. So. And so what kind of content, Kirsten, can they put on their social channels, Facebook specifically, typically, to like help give visibility to their searchers that are finding them on Google?
Yeah, I think the most important thing is to always claim first all of your Facebook pages. There's multiple times where someone will go to a business, check in, do that thing, and it's just a floating Facebook page that's out there that a business doesn't even know exist. So I think that's the most important thing, is to make sure you're claiming all of those. They used to be called children pages, but now they're called location pages. Claim all of those, making sure those are optimized with correct imagery, correct about information. So same with your main page and your location pages. Fill it all out, optimize it, make sure you're talking about what it is. Also, too, make sure the location is correct, which usually pulls from Google. So if that's not pulling correctly, you know that your listing could be wrong on Google also.
Yeah, that's a great indicator. I think what we've talked about in previous episodes regarding local search is to use the same data set, use correct and consistent information. And that's really important when you think about Facebook, as you mentioned, because people could be checking in, and it's more, if you didn't create it as the business, it's probably user generated or created that way, and it's probably incorrect and going unmanaged. And as a brand, you definitely don't want to be putting your that foot forward, because it's usually not on brand.
Yeah, you'll see like photos on there that are not on brand, comments that are not on brand, postings that are not on brand. So making sure you have control of those. And a lot of businesses don't even know they exist out there. So that is really important to make sure that you know they are out there.
Yeah, and back to the business information. Like, I don't think a lot of people realize, like, we consider Facebook like another directory. It's like top 5 in the directories that you should claim.
Yeah, it's very influential to Google because it does have such relevant signals and engagement from the audience on Facebook. So Google's saying, hey, this is valuable. We see people interact with this. Let's give it some weight.
Yeah. So your name, address, phone number, make sure your website URL is on there. Like Facebook, like you said, has so much area for you to put your business information. Like the About Me section is huge. Yeah. So make sure you're filling it out completely.
Yeah, people use Facebook a lot of times as their like a website.
Yeah.
So a lot of small businesses actually, that's their website, but then also us as users look to Facebook to get more information about the business also. So the service section, like what do you have to offer to the audience? Making sure you're filling that out, correct contact information so people can call you or jump on your website if you do have one.
Yeah. I think a question that we get a lot is from businesses that have multiple locations. They're like, look, can I just ignore them? Like, I don't want to do, 12, 15, 50 Facebook pages on top of the page that we've spent so much time and energy to optimize for our brand page. So in that example, what do you tell the client who says, like, can I opt out? Can I turn these off? Or is there a way to manage these at scale?
There is no way to turn them off because, like I mentioned, people check in and they're going to exist out there. You can do very low maintenance on them just to make sure that the information is correct. You can also turn off settings where people can't post on that page or be able to, so you don't have to manage the postings on there. You can do a lot of settings, but they're not going to go away. So there is going to have to be a little bit of management.
Awesome. Yeah. So you can't just put your head in the sand. You have to do something with them. And of course, for them to not go unmanaged, claim them at least at a bare minimum, make sure that information is correct and consistent. And then, so you mentioned they used to be called child pages, now they're location pages, but can you still put them into a hierarchy then?
You can within Facebook. So you will still have your parent page, as it used to be called too. And then you put them in the hierarchy of the location pages, but it's still going to be pulled up based off of where you're located too.
Yeah. So when you search in Facebook, say, we have Scooter's Coffee in front of us. I don't know if we can say that. I think we can. So when you search for Scooter's Coffee, it could show you their brand page or it could show you the nearest location to you. And you would want to make sure that all of those are optimized should somebody use Facebook like a search engine and come across your location pages.
Right. And, also within that, because since there's a lot of scooter drive-thrus, I could be across the street and have checked into Scooters, and then I'm confused as a user when I'm like, oh, I see Scooters is right beside me, but it's actually across the street because someone checked into the wrong location, made that location page, and then the business never managed it.
Yeah, so then that's like another great point that there's duplicates out there. I mean, if someone made the page with the wrong information, and then someone can go through and make the page with the right information, you also have to manage those duplicates, suppress them, or combine them.
Yeah,
yeah. So that can happen.
Yeah. So another thing with like not wanting to manage multiple location pages, like I said, like it's considered a directory, so you want to have a page for all your locations, but also with reviews, it's another way to manage your reviews. Also, like a lot of businesses only have one page and they could have 20 locations and all the reviews for that one location or all those locations are going on that one page.
Right. And that doesn't make sense if you're a searcher because you're like, well, how was your experience at that location? I mean, think about like a restaurant or even a hotel. It varies so much from location to location that it would make a difference on if you were going to go to that specific location.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, Facebook and Google definitely have a lot in common when it comes to features. So tell me about a few of the features that Google has rolled out over the past like year and a half to kind of keep up with Facebook and the engagement side.
Yep. So one is Google Posts, which I think a lot of businesses neglect and they shouldn't be doing that. One, it's a way to get more real estate in the search results. So why wouldn't you do it? Another thing is if you're going to be posting.
Like it takes up more space.
Yeah, more space.
Yeah, for sure. Because like the more information you're putting on your Google My Business listing, it makes your listing physically longer. Yeah. So yeah, like a post is a good like block.
Yep.
and it's a visible image. So it's like can be eye catching too and drive a click.
Yeah, I would definitely go to that listing quicker if I saw there were posts on it. And then another thing, like if you're going to be posting on social, if you're going to be posting on Facebook, why wouldn't you go post in Google Posts as well?
Oh yeah, it doesn't have to be additional work. I think that's what we've seen is like if you have a strong social strategy that you know is working for you, that's like getting engagement from your channel audiences, then you can replicate that on Google. Google's like a broader net, so it's still going to fit. I was looking at Wendy's the other day, and they're doing an awesome job using those Google posts. They had a post for downloading their app. and then you could claim an offer.
Yeah.
They had a post to order, and they're doing like some cool online ordering through Google. So they were using
new menu items,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
They were doing a lot with posts, and it just made it a lot easier to know like what you wanted to do, and you can do it quickly. You don't have to go to the site to go order. You didn't have to go to the app to download the offer. They just had it right there in Google. I was like,
That's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
too easy.
And that's what's nice about, like you mentioned, you don't have to reinvent the wheel even with your post, because if you have it in Facebook, you're already analyzing every single post that goes out the door. You know what your audience is reacting to, and what they want to see and what they want to see more. They tell you even like what they want to see. So why don't you use that same strategy towards the Google postings and try it within that, and then you can not reinvent the wheel all the way.
Yeah. Awesome. And tell me about a few of the post types, because obviously Google makes it super easy. It's not just a blank canvas. You have to kind of figure out which of these categories your message goes into, and then it knows what it prompts you on what to do or how to optimize that.
Yeah. So there's event posts, there's product posts, there's update posts. So anything that doesn't fall in those categories could go in the update posts.
There's COVID
There's
type.
a COVID one. There's a fifth COVID one. There's a fifth one. But there's many options.
And then they have other like CTAs, calls to action.
Yep.
For those product posts, they're like,
Book
okay,
now, call now, learn more. There's a lot.
Driving to the website, of course.
Yep. There's a lot of options. So
that's awesome. Messaging has been huge for Facebook. I know that a lot of businesses have implemented like a messenger strategy. So tell me about that and how to execute that on Facebook, and then tell me about Google too, because they just rolled out something similar not too long ago.
Yeah, Messenger has definitely been growing within the social channels, especially within Facebook. It's just another way to just, execute great customer service. But I think that's the thing, you need to execute the great customer service. You can't just set it and forget it with a bot, which is easy to do. A lot of businesses will set it and be like, we will respond within 24 hours. Well,
they never do.
And they never do. Yeah. So, I mean, there's ways to use bots to make, communication tree. And if someone's asking this question, then it can respond with this. Or someone's like, talk to a representative, then you can get someone, to respond. But I think that's another opportunity to create that, just in that engagement and that connection with the customer within Messenger. And a lot of people that are online are looking for that. I mean, chat's been huge for if you even go to a website.
Yeah.
And you just want to talk to a representative instead of calling and doing all that, because you're like, I'm already on the computer. Mm-hmm. I can get it solved right now. So social's been a good way for businesses to also do that.
Yeah, they make it really easy. And back to your point of using a bot, like I've had good experiences with a bot and I've had horrible experiences. I've had experiences recently where I'm like, I just want to cancel your service. And they're like, cool. Okay, great.
I feel like airlines always want to use a bot at first.
Oh my gosh. And I'm like, human
person,
human
right away.
Somebody.
Yeah. So I think that's where, you really need to create also a strategy within Messenger, because you can't just set it and forget it and think that a bot's going to take care of it, because there's still that human interaction that people want, even though through chat.
So I know that besides the customer service issues that can cause, you can get yourself in hot water really quickly with the algorithm too. Like a lot of, like both Google, and Facebook have SLAs, like how quick do you have to respond to somebody before you get dinged, before you get turned off. I think can both platforms turn you off?
I think
turn off your messaging.
Yeah,
Google
and
can.
it's that 24 hours, which is really, that's why they're like, we'll respond within 24 hours. And the algorithm, if you don't, they're going to kind of like, if people aren't liking your post, they're going to think, well, you're not relevant anymore. We're going to just, put someone else in front of you and just put you to the end. So that's just always something to think about too. It's not just creating that great customer service. You have that algorithm, that big scary word, following you everywhere within social and in Google.
Yeah, giving you points for when you perform and giving you like thumbs down, negative points when you don't.
Yep.
What about Google? What's
Messenger.
best practice for response on Google?
Yeah, so it's 24 hours, and I've never tested it before, but yeah, Google will turn it off for you. So yeah, like if you're going to be using Messenger for Facebook, like Google Posts, you should use Messenger, and Google use the same exact strategy. And
I think Google just rolled it out where you can do Messenger from your phone too.
No, so it was only in the app originally, but now it's in the desktop.
Oh,
so originally they couldn't respond within the desktop, which that's way more convenient, I think.
That seems, if you're a small business owner, I get why they wanted you to use the app because you're on the go.
Yeah,
And
but that was
maybe
literally the only place you could respond.
But and what a pain, because if you're the only one with the app, and you manage a team, if you're really not the only business owner, then you're gonna want to task it out to somebody else to be like, hey, when you're on call, you respond, or you know, hey, front desk, like you respond. Yeah,
so that's why we tell business owners, like, if you want to turn this on, like, you better be prepared to respond within 24 hours. It's really great if business owners want to use it, but they got to be prepared. So.
Awesome. Any other insight you have for social and local?
No, I think, it's just really important. It's funny how you don't think about Facebook, especially as like a local listing or using it as a listing, because you think of it as like, oh, I'm just going to be, social on it, communicating, sharing pictures, sharing, any business promotions or anything out there. So I think it's important to understand that people are also using Facebook to find you.
Yeah. And I guess you could say the same then, right, Alexi, for Google, because in that people typically think about Google My Business as an SEO play, like a search engine optimization part of that strategy, and not from the social aspect. And it is a great place for you to engage as the business back to those potential searchers.
Yep, I definitely agree.
Awesome. Well, thank you, ladies, for sharing all of your insights. I'm so excited to have you back in the studio. Yeah. So, thanks for joining me, Alexi. Thanks, Kirsten.
Awesome. I've Heard That is a part of the Hurrdat Media Network. For more information, follow Hurrdat on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, or Instagram, or visit hurrdatmarketing.com.
A Hurrdat Media Production.